Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. If there is one thing that has become painfully clear for New York Yankees fans over the past few seasons, it is that standing still in Major League Baseball is often worse than making the wrong move. The buzz going around the league right now is that any serious conversation with the Milwaukee Brewers about Freddie Peralta would start with either Carlos Lagrange or Elmer Rodriguez heading the other way, and honestly, this should not be a debate inside the Yankees front office. This is the type of moment where hesitation kills ambition, and if the Yankees truly want to do something meaningful this season, instead of spinning the same old narrative of missed opportunities, they have to be willing to part with a promising arm to get a proven one. Fans have watched year after year as elite free agents or trade targets come and go, while New York stays on the sidelines, either unwilling to meet the price or to attach to potential that may never fully materialize, and Freddie Peralta represents a chance to change that story in a very real way. Peralta is not some fringe arm or a short-term gamble. He is an established major league pitcher who has shown he can dominate lineups, handle pressure, and give you quality innings when it matters most. Yes, the contract situation looms, and yes, there will eventually be tough conversations about money. But that is a bridge you cross once you are actually standing on it. Right now, the reality is that Peralta is set to make what amounts to peanuts in the upcoming season, relative to his value. And for a team like the Yankees, who constantly preach about competing for championships, turning down that opportunity would be borderline irresponsible. If Milwaukee is truly willing to listen in exchange for Carlos Lagrange or Elmer Rodriguez, New York should not only listen, they should lean in and seriously consider pulling the trigger without overthinking every possible downside. When you look at Carlos Lagrange specifically, the appeal is obvious. He is young, just 22 years old, and he has shown tangible improvement over a relatively short period of time. His most recent season was a step forward, finishing with an 11-8 record and a 3.53 earned run average, which is a noticeable improvement compared to his career mark sitting a bit above 4. The jump from throwing barely more than 20 innings one year to logging 120 the next is not insignificant, and it speaks to both durability and development. Lagrange has also been used primarily as a starter throughout his career, starting all but 4 of his 56 professional games, which suggests a level of versatility that would surely intrigue the Brewers, as they look for someone they believe could be major league ready sooner rather than later. That said, prospects are still prospects, and no amount of projection changes the fact that Lagrange has yet to take the mound in a big league game. Improvement is encouraging, but it is not a guarantee, and the jump from the minors to Major League Baseball is one that humbles even the most highly touted arms. From the Yankees' perspective, holding onto a pitcher like Lagrange because of what he might become while passing on a pitcher like Peralta, who already is that guy, feels like a luxury decision rather than a competitive one. If Milwaukee believes Lagrange is ready to contribute in some capacity, that evaluation should not scare New York away from making a move that clearly improves their rotation. Right now, Elmer Rodriguez, on the other hand, presents a slightly different conversation. Like Lagrange, he is also 22 years old, but his statistical profile is even more eye-catching. Rodriguez has been remarkably consistent, posting an 11-8 record with a sparkling .58 earned run average last season, and his career earned run average sits just a hair below that. The fact that he has never had a season with an earned run average above 2.91 jumps off the page and suggests a pitcher who knows how to limit damage and control games. From a pure numbers standpoint, Rodriguez looks like the more complete and polished arm. And if the Yankees had the luxury of choosing which prospect to keep, it would make far more sense to hold onto Rodriguez and include Lagrange in a deal. However, even Rodriguez is not without questions. His brief exposure to AAA last season was rocky, giving up for earned runs over 5 innings, which is a reminder that minor league dominance does not always translate cleanly at higher levels. If he is not quite ready to dominate at that level, expecting him to be ready for an opening day roster spot in the Bronx would be unrealistic. This is exactly why the Yankees cannot afford to be precious about either pitcher. Let Milwaukee determine whether Lagrange or Rodriguez ultimately become true major league quality starters. New York's responsibility is to maximize the present window, and that means going all in on a pitcher like Peralta who can immediately impact the rotation. While the trade market stirs this debate, the broader picture of the Yankees' offseason only adds to the sense of frustration. What has already been a slow and underwhelming winter threatens to get even worse, with the growing belief that the team may have already lost Cody Bellinger, according to respected league insiders. The Yankees and Bellinger are at an impasse, and the organization is now operating under the assumption that he will sign elsewhere. That alone is enough to make fans uneasy, but it becomes even more alarming when you consider that Bellinger was arguably their most important internal free agent and a player who performed well during his time in pinstripes. The reported details make the situation even harder to swallow. New York's offer, said to be in the range of 5 years with an annual value north of $30 million, was not insignificant. In fact, it was already the second offer they had put on the table, which suggests there was at least some effort to get a deal done. Bellinger, however, appears to be holding out for something longer and richer, chasing both security and a higher average annual value, coming off a season where he hit .272 with solid on-base and slugging numbers while launching 29 home runs. Bellinger has a strong case to bet on himself in a market that has already rewarded hitters handsomely. Recent deals around the league only complicate the Yankees' position, seeing players like Kyle Schwarber land massive 5-year contracts worth $150 million, and Pete Alonso secure even more over the same term, resets expectations for top-tier bats. Bellinger knows his value, both offensively and defensively, and while questions remain about whether any team will fully meet his financial aspiration, the Yankees' apparent reluctance to push further sends a familiar message. It feels like another instance where New York draws a line and refuses to cross it, even if it means watching a key contributor walk out the door. As this offseason continues to unfold, the sense is that the Yankees may try to pivot toward another splash to calm an increasingly restless fan base, with names like Bo Bichette floating around as potential targets. But even that feels like a reactive move rather than a proactive plan. The truth is that this entire winter has been defined by what the Yankees have not done, and that is why a bold trade for Freddie Peralta matters so much. It would signal a willingness to act, to prioritize proven performance over uncertain potential, and to stop letting fear of future contracts dictate present competitiveness. In a city that demands results and a fan base that has grown tired of excuses, making that kind of decisive move could change the entire narrative of the season before it even begins. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. Hold on to your seats, because what I'm about to tell you might just be the biggest shakeup in Major League Baseball this off-season, and honestly, it's the kind of news that makes you question everything you thought you knew about free agency, team strategy, and just how far some franchises are willing to go to chase glory. Rumors have been swirling for weeks, whispers in locker rooms and behind-the-scenes chatter that have kept baseball fans on edge. And now it seems like the pieces are finally falling into place, in a way that no one could have predicted. The New York Yankees, yes, the storied franchise that has long been synonymous with big spending, dynastic ambitions, and headline-grabbing moves, are reportedly closing in on one of the most audacious acquisitions of recent memory. And we're not talking about any ordinary free agent here. We're talking about Cody James Bellinger, the powerhouse outfielder and first baseman, whose name alone sends defensive coordinators into a panic, and whose bat can change the narrative of a season in a single swing. Now, Cody Bellinger is no stranger to the spotlight. His career has already been marked by moments of brilliance, moments of struggle, and everything in between. He has worn the uniforms of the Los Angeles Dodgers, where he became a household name and an MVP candidate, then moved on to the Chicago Cubs, where he tried to recapture that magic, and now, the whispers suggest he might finally land with the Yankees, a team that has spent the better part of its history making statements that resonate far beyond the confines of the ballpark. But here's where the story takes a twist that is almost too wild to believe. Sources familiar with the negotiations are hinting that the structure of the deal is absolutely insane. We're talking numbers that, on paper, might make your jaw drop, but what's more fascinating is the strategy behind it. This isn't just a player signing, it's a message, a signal to the rest of the league that the Yankees are willing to bend every rule, exploit every loophole, and push the boundaries of conventional wisdom to get the talent they covet. Imagine the scene, a press release that might not even come with a full quote from Bellinger, Because at this point, the agreement is reportedly so complex and front-loaded with incentives, bonuses, and clauses that the public explanation would read like a legal document rather than a sports announcement, and that's exactly why insiders are buzzing. The details, though not officially confirmed, hint at a combination of guaranteed money, performance incentives, and perhaps even image rights that could make this the most lucrative deal Bellinger has ever signed. And it's not just about the money. The Yankees seem to be constructing a narrative here, one that positions them as the ultimate destination for marquee players. The team that doesn't just compete, but dominates the conversation around the league before a single pitch is even thrown. Fans and analysts alike are already speculating about the ripple effects this move could have. For starters, Bellinger's presence in the lineup would immediately alter the Yankees' offensive strategy. His ability to play both outfield and first base gives the team an unprecedented level of flexibility, allowing them to shuffle players around, manage innings with surgical precision, and perhaps most importantly, create matchups that could tilt crucial games in their favor. And while some may question whether this is a move born of necessity or ego, it's hard to argue with the audacity of it all. The Yankees are sending a signal not just to other teams, but to their own roster, that they are not here to participate. They are here to rewrite expectations, and you have to wonder, what does this mean for other free agents on the market? Will this trigger a domino effect, forcing teams to reconsider their budgets, their priorities, and their entire approach to roster construction? But the drama doesn't end there. The timing of this potential signing is also feeding the rumor mill. We're in a period where contracts are being scrutinized like never before, where every clause, every incentive, and every opt-out is being analyzed by fans, reporters, and statisticians who live and breathe sabermetrics. Yet the speculation surrounding Bellinger's deal suggests that the Yankees are playing a different game entirely. Some insiders are even hinting that there are performance triggers that could make this deal one of the most conditional in recent memory, potentially allowing Bellinger to earn even more if certain benchmarks are met, or conversely, giving the Yankees outs if things don't go according to plan. It's almost as if the franchise is treating this like a chess match, positioning themselves to control not just the player, but the entire narrative of the upcoming seasons. And let's not ignore the psychological impact. Bellinger arriving in New York isn't just a transaction, it's a headline, a media spectacle, a story that will dominate sports networks, social media feeds, and locker room chatter alike. The Yankees know this, and if the rumors are to be believed, they are fully capitalizing on it. It's a high-stakes game of theater and strategy, where perception matters as much as statistics, and where the buzz around the team could be just as valuable as any home run or RBI. Fans are already speculating about how Bellinger's presence will affect clubhouse dynamics. Will this energize younger players, give the team a renewed sense of purpose, or introduce new challenges in terms of chemistry and expectations? The answer is unclear. But the mere thought of Bellinger donning pinstripes has ignited discussions from stadium seats to online forums across the country. Then there's the broader context to consider. Major League Baseball is a league in flux, with teams constantly reevaluating their approach to free agency, salary caps, and player development. A move like this, especially if the details leak and are as outrageous as some sources claim, could redefine what it means to be a free agent in today's market. Are we looking at a new standard for mega contracts? Will other franchises feel pressured to match or exceed the Yankees' boldness? Or will they adopt a more cautious, measured approach, hoping that the flashier deals don't always deliver on the field? And while it's easy to get lost in the numbers and the speculation, at the heart of it, this is a story about ambition, risk, and the lengths to which a franchise will go to chase excellence. Of course, with all rumors, there's room for skepticism. Nothing is official until ink hits paper, and history has shown us that even the most convincing leaks can fall apart at the final hour. Yet the convergence of reports from multiple insiders, the timing of the whispers, and the consistency of the narrative have made it almost impossible to ignore whether Bellinger actually signs or not. The mere possibility has already sent shockwaves through the league, altering how other teams are thinking about their rosters, their budgets, and their strategies for the next season. And if you're a Yankees fan, you're probably already imagining the scenarios: Bellinger stepping up to the plate in Yankee Stadium, the crowd roaring, the cameras panning, and every swing, every at-bat, every defensive play magnified because of the magnitude of the move that brought him there. In the end, whether this deal is finalized or not, it has already achieved something remarkable. It has captured the imagination of fans, created a tidal wave of discussion, and reminded everyone that in baseball, as in life, the stories behind the numbers are often more compelling than the statistics themselves. The Yankees' potential signing of Cody Bellinger is more than just a rumor. It's a narrative in motion, a saga that could reshape expectations, ignite debates, and set the tone for the league in the seasons to come. And if you think about it, that's exactly what makes sports thrilling: the unpredictability, the speculation, and the ever-present possibility that the next headline will change everything you thought you knew. So buckle up, because if the reports are accurate, the New York Yankees might just be pulling off one of the most audacious moves in recent memory, bringing Cody Bellinger into the fold with a deal so elaborate, so unconventional, that it will be talked about for years to come. And as always, in a world where rumors have power and speculation fuels imagination, the only certainty is that the next chapter in this story promises drama, excitement, and perhaps a glimpse of baseball history being made right before our eyes. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.